I'm Estelle Thomson, your mistress of radiance, and this is Walk With Me in Butterfly Alley, a Chic West podcast revival. This is a 10-minute audio series about living a meaningful, sparkly life. One walk, one idea, one story. In each 10 minutes mini episode, I'll share with you what I've been thinking about, what life is teaching me, and maybe a question for your own reflection. So grab a coffee, lace up your shoes, or simply settle in. Let's take a walk together, unfiltered. Welcome to Butterfly Alley. Hold up! Before we begin, the planner is back for its 8th year. Keep an eye out for my newest creation, the Guide to a Magic Life 2027 Planner, the Things That Fly edition, arriving soon. Inspired by butterflies, birds, bees, migration, and transformation, this planner is a companion for women navigating change, trusting their wings, and becoming who they are meant to be. Like all good things in nature, the planner is seasonal and available in limited quantities. If you've been thinking about journeying with me through 2027, you'll want to keep watch for its release in early September. You can find all of my paper goods, paintings, and creative offerings at estelethomson.com under shop. Now back to our walk. My first temple is a snow fort. Was a snow fort in 1988 in Saint-Georges-de-Beauce. That's where I am. I'm from Quebec, a very French rural area, the Beauce region. It's an hour from Quebec City. It's south of Quebec City, and it's close to the Maine border. And when I was a little girl, this is crazy to me. I was already hosting Women's Circle. I was already doing it. I would drag my friends. I'm not kidding. This is a true story, okay? This is the origin creatress story. So I would drag my friends inside a snow fort. My brother and I have a younger brother, about 20 months younger than me, Alexis. And we would make every winter, because the snow blower, the big shovel would go down our street, and we literally just had a street. And so all the snow, we end up at the end of our road. So there was like a big mountain of snow, and we would make a snow fort in there. And one year it was so good, you could actually like go inside, and it's not like Nova Scotia, like the snow in Quebec is really hard because the cold is really dry there, right? And so I had created my first sacred space, and I called this club. It was literally a club. I called it Le Club des Amis, the club of friends. And looking back, this is where it all started for me in French rural Quebec, in my pink snowsuit. If you go on Substack, you can see my pictures. I'm pretty cute. And with my brother, I drag my brothers and my friends. They had no idea. And we literally like go around in in circle. And but it's crazy now because that's literally where I started to learn to witness. I knew the importance of a space that was safe, that was protected. And that's literally what creatress means. It's like a protected place of safety, of embrace. And I grew up really untraditionally. My dad he's a doctor, but he's an integrative doctor, and he's done many, many things throughout his life. But back then he was a family doctor, and the office was in our actual home. And I'm not kidding. Like his clinic was in our house. So, I'd come back from school and there was like patients in my living room. And I mean, there was like doors and stuff, and so I got to witness all walks of life coming in and out of my house. And humans really had their most, right? When you go to the doctors, like you're so vulnerable. And they would literally like sit down in my living room, my hallway. And I was a little girl, like, I would, like, play hide and seek in the stairs and, I had to be quiet, and but this is literally what began for me, my witnessing, and in witnessing others, like, with no judgment. Like, I remember seeing, like, people in wheelchairs and, like, people, again, that were sick and people that were taking ambulances, um, and witnessing people in pain, right? Like, whether they were in pain, like something hurted, literally hurted, and or everyday dilemma, like colds and newborns and elders and but also cancer, like these more extreme things. So that, like, when I think about that, that's also crazy that I got to live that at such a young age. And later on, of course, in my 20s, my love affair began with yoga, mostly yoga at first. And in my 30s, I became a mom, and I found the merging point with yoga and art and got myself really expanders, incredible mentors and teachers that taught me about symbols and goddesses. And this work really became my way of staying connected with myself, through the underworld of postpartum and the death of my second son. And remembering remembering feeling deeply relieved that I had already built a structure of self-care before grief arrived, because really without the support of art and yoga, I think I would have been really lost in trying to navigate it. I There's a moment I remember so much, like Tommy had just literally just died, and Scott and I were walking out of the hospital, and Scott said to me, I want to take the scissors. There was like there's scissors on a desk. He was like, I just want to take the scissors right now and poke myself in the heart with it. And he wasn't going to do it, but it was such a perfect match. I was like, 100%. I was like, I want to do that too. Um, and it was, again, we weren't going to do it, but it was such the perfect metaphor in just how we also had died. Like, we were hurting so much, not just physically, but psychically and spiritually. And now in my 40s, and, having built my Estelle Thomson art and yoga brand, my E-Star brand, and working inside the tower structures, and I'm just so grateful I had that first temple that was the Stowe Fort. And I to recall and really have that vision of that was really the beginning of everything, of my journey, as in my creatress path. And I've talked about creatress before, but creatress is literally just a female creator. And being a creatress is claiming yourself as a female creatrix who weaves feminine magic with what she makes. It's birthing new worlds and also being able to be held by the world in return. And again, that snow fort was so symbolic of that. We let the snow hill support us, and inside the snow fort, we were building a new world for ourselves. Creatresses understand that magic and creativity is a force that stirs and moves and activates. Yeah, and I feel so grateful of, even my friends that, took my word for it in a way and came along for the ride. And that was really the start of being in my telos, being in my soul destiny. Um, because that's literally what I do now. I lead groups into sacred spaces. They're not snow forts anymore. And sometimes they're international, like Italy and Greece and, Hawaii and Costa Rica and France, and or even the space I create in my year-long soul connection programs, my one-on-one. And it was literally written in the stars for me that I was gonna do that and become an illuminator, a bit of a pioneer that, like, takes hands of people and drags them in cold and high snow fort.
But I've been practicing hosting circles since then. And now, I'm so ready to apprentice women. That's really my next chapter for me, through Guide to Magic Life, through Creatress Path membership, through Fortress, membership. And if that's you, like if you had a snow fort, something resembling a snow fort, growing up, if you feel like you're an illuminator, um, if you feel like you hold space for others and you feel ready to tend more deeply to your own creative and spiritual grounds, um, if you feel the pull, I really invite you to step closer into my world and inspect your own origin story and your own snow forth. So, my question today is, do you feel you are supported by the world? Do you feel you are supported by the world? So glad you came with me on the walk today. Bye.